My name is Steve LaValle, and I came from America some 40 years ago to teach in Australia. And I haven't done much teaching, but I'm hoping to do some today. I wish to acknowledge at the moment the Kurnai people who used to live in this area, and there were also other people who came here and destroyed most of the environment in the area. I'd like to sort of acknowledge them in one way or another, but another time for that. I've named this 5-acre block of land, which was an old dairy farm, and I've named it the Botanic Ark for a couple of reasons I might explain later, but here's a definition of an ark. It is any large, commodious boat, a place of shelter or refuge, a sanctuary. And then I have a definition of a boat, possibly a boat owner's definition, a hole in the ocean into which you pour money. And you may or may not know it, but lots of properties in the world, farms and other properties, you know, people are hoping to make money, but actually often they have to pour money into it. I'm sitting in front of a bush from Brazil, and I've planted it on a north-facing wall so it gets a bit of sun, but the people who are taking my picture could acknowledge that we're pretty much in shade here. But in winter it gets some light, and it does appear to be very happy. At the moment it's flowering, and this is, in English, it's a yesterday, today, and tomorrow bush. It is a Brunsfeldia. It is remarkable, wonderful, gorgeous at the moment while it's reproducing or having sex, flowering, that is. And but most of the year it's just a green thing that people walk past, and that's 11 months of the year. Just now it's at its height, and it's called yesterday, today, and tomorrow because the flowers open up. They last about 4 days, and when they open they are a dark blue or purple, and the next day that very same flower has faded to a light purple or pink, and the next day it fades to white, so that after the first 3 days of flowering there's a kind of riot of color. Just by looking at it, I'd say it's possibly related to the petunias. I don't know. Very beautiful, not really that rare. It's in What Flower Is That by Sterling McCoby. I hope to explain myself at some point during this talk and walk. I have been encouraged, and I do try to get help in explaining who I am, what this world is like, why I bother doing what I'm doing. I get help from other people, and those people are people who I've read things about. Most of them are dead, actually. And I have some written down on quote cards. They are in my head, but I do need the assistance, and I really should apologize for not being more organized, because these things should probably be in some kind of order. But I have ordered a few of them here. From Khalil Gibran, a Lebanese writer, he said, "He who listens to truth is no less than he who utters it." And he also said, "Half of what I say is meaningless, but I say it so that the other half may reach you." H.G. Wells, who wrote some amazing books in the 19th century, looking forward to a future world, said, "Civilization is a race between education and catastrophe." One of my teachers, although he has been dead for 2,300 years, is Socrates. He did not learn to write. He in fact didn't approve of writing. He said if you teach people to write, they will cease to learn how to remember things. And the ancient Greeks had many ways of remembering things, little mnemonic devices to help them. Anyway, when he spoke, other people were often impressed or delighted, And they remembered what he said, and those who could write wrote his words down. One of the things he said was, there is only one good, and that is knowledge, and only one evil, and that is ignorance. And Confucius, from China around 500 BC, most people in the West, if they're going to quote Confucius, they make a joke of it. They'll say it in some kind of pidgin Chinese. But anyway, there are people who have translated his works, of course. He said, there may be men who act without understanding why. I do not. To listen much, to pick out the good and follow it, to see much and ponder it. This comes next to understanding.